Hi everyone! I wanted to share with you how I decorated my square tag and pocket wraparound album. It's by Graphic 45. I have already inked mine with Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. And I'm going to be using Curiouser and Curiouser. I have the chipboard, tags and frames, the ephemera assortment, rub-on transfers, sticker set, and I'll be using the 12 by 12 collection pack and the 12 by 12 patterns and solids. I'll be using this one. So we're going to start with the outer side. I'm going to be using Tim Holtz's long fasteners to add my closures. So I chose my paper for the outer side from the Patterns and Solids collection. I cut 2 at 6 by 6 1/8. I'm going to start by gluing that on my front cover. I did ink around all of my paper. I'm going to center that. Then I'm going to take my other piece that's 6 1/8 by 6 inches. And that's going to go on the back of my book, centering it. Then I cut 2 at 2 3/4 by 6 inches. This one's going to go on the bottom of my box. My other piece is going to go right on the top. Then my last piece for my front is 2 1/2 by 6 inches. I'm going to glue that right here. So my next step is I'm going to measure on this flap here 1 inch in, and I'm going to mark it. And then I'm going to measure 1 inch in on the other side and mark it. So I don't know if you can see my marks there. So then I mark where my top fastener is going to go, about 1 inch in. Then I punch those out. So then I'm going to add my closure. Then usually I put a little double-sided tape just to kind of ensure they stay. So next I'm going to fasten this one closed, then mark it. And then I'm going to punch those out. So if you don't have something to punch your book with, oops, you can just use a piercing tool. So now you just add your brads. Now we have one closure on. Now we're going to do the other one. So then I go back and I put double-sided tape over all my little legs. So next I'm going to grab the Graphic 45 handle I plan on using. So I'm going to mark my box at an inch and 3/8 in. On each side. End at 1.5. That helps me know that that's the center, and I want my handle to be about 1 3/8 in on each side. I'm just going to mark those. And then I'm going to poke those holes. And I'm just going to erase my pencil marks. Then I'm going to add my handle. Add some double-sided tape. So now my little box has closures and the little handle. So next I'm going to grab this heart frame from the chipboard collection. I'm going to center it over on this corner. about right there. I'm going to trace the inner circle on. Like that. Now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and cut that out. This is some of Graphic 45 washi tape. Put it in little strips around my opening. I just want my circle to be kind of sparkly. So then you want to make sure that none's showing outside of your frame. And if there is, just trim it off. So next I'm going to grab a little piece of transparency. I'm going to trim this down to fit on the back of my frame. Then I'm going to clip the corners a little. I just want to make sure I'm not overlapping anywhere. Add double-sided tape to the back of my frame. So then I want to stick my transparency to my double-sided tape. Then you want to grab your rub-on transfers. And I already decided I'm going to use this little teapot image. I'm going to transfer it right on top of my transparency. So now my image is on there. And that's going to go here. Okay, we're going to set that aside. We're going to open our book. And we're going to cut a piece of 6x6 pattern paper. You want to line that up. where it's going to go on your inside cover. Then trace on your opening. You want to carefully cut that out. Like that. I'm just going to ink around mine. So then I have a little hinge clip, and I have some of the ephemera. This frame is from the ephemera, and these two little cards. I'm going to apply glue to one of the backs. And put the other card right on top, watching the direction of my characters. I'm going to ink around that. I had 2 packs of ephemera, so I'm using both of the little frames. And I cut 2 pieces of transparency. I already put this transparency on. I already put double-sided tape on this one. And you want to add your transparency. I do clip my corners, just the pointy edge off. Just covering the inside window. Like that. Then I'm just going to put a very little piece of double-sided tape on her hair. And I'm going to center that right on top of my transparency. Like that. And I added more double-sided tape. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of glue onto the paper part. I'm going to line that right up on top of the other frame. Then I'm going to ink around that. And it looks like that. So then I'm going to bring my book back. And I want to figure out where I want my clip. I think about right there. So I want to poke those holes. And I have 2 brads here. Now I have a little clip. I'm going to add some double-sided tape to my little legs. Remove my double-sided tape from this side. I'm going to add glue to the back. And then I want to center this on my inside page, making sure I match up the opening. Then this will stick right here, like that. So then I have this piece from the ephemera assortment. So I know it's going to be upside down when it shows through the hole. And so I want to trim this down so it kind of fits right in here. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the back. I'm going to stick that right to the back. So then I'm going to close my book. I'm going to glue this frame. Right on top. Making sure it's even with my hole I cut out. Then we're going to grab this frame from the chipboard collection. And we're going to trim the top off. So I trimmed about that much off. Then we're going to glue that right there. Then we're going to grab the sticker collection. We're going to grab the sticker right here. Center that right at the top. Watching your score line right here. Then we're going to flip to this side. And we're going to take a 6x12 sheet of paper. And you want to cut 6 inches. And this one is by 2 3/8. We're going to glue that there. And this one is 2 3/4 by 6 inches. And then with what was left, it's 6 inches wide, and I scored 3/4 inch at the bottom and folded that up. Then from Dream It, I cut this out. So I measured it across so it would be evenly on the front of my pattern paper here. And I scored over here. And I usually turn it over. And I mark this side. Then I score it. Then I just check it. So then I just clip the corners to the score line. And then I'm going to cut around the inner red frame and around some of these images that are in here. So it's like that. So then I cut a piece of transparency and I added double-sided tape or score tape. You want to put that on the back. Making sure not to go over your score lines. So it looks like that. Then you want to take that longer piece that we scored at the bottom and I'm going to put a little score tape right down here. Little glue. Then I want to put it right on that little flap, making sure that my sides meet up with my score lines. Glue my backs down. Might just put a little score tape right behind her. Like that. Then we're gonna fussy cut this little butterfly out. Just squeezing it a little bit and bending up on the wings. Add a little glue. That right there. Now we're ready to glue our 3 pieces in. So then I cut 4 strips. I cut 4 1/2 inch wide by 6 inches, and this one's 5/8 by 6 inches. And I'm going to glue those in. So then to finish our little suitcase, I made a little charm to hang on my handle. Put a graphic 45 key on it and use some of Tim Holtz Idolology. So that's with my graphic 45 key, a little Alice charm, a little spoon charm, and a little rabbit at the bottom. These are from the chipboard collection, and I just backed them with pattern paper. So I did finish my pages, and if you would like to make it the same as mine, I'll have a tutorial on my YouTube channel for how I made my pages. Thank you for watching.